The beaches of Southern California. What a wonderful place to be as NASCAR goes west. Yes, we've climbed up there to the Hollywood sign, downtown LA, but it's not been all California dreaming for SoCal native Jimmie Johnson. He was on a mock qualifying run when in turn 4 the car got away from him, dug up a ton of dirt in the infield, and they rolled out the backup car, and now there's a new wrinkle to this story. Here's Matt Yoakum.
Mike Joy, a number of cars are already in line at inspection. The 48 of Jimmie Johnson's isn't one of those. They elected to go to the backup and now trying to make the most out of a bad situation. You've elected not to try to qualify. Smart move looking at the schedule and planning your rest of the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the only good thing we have left going for us. Let's just get this car right. You know, also manage our risks in qualifying. You're on the edge, trying to create speed. And if we crash this car, I'm going to have to go to one of my Hendrick neighbors here and pull out their backup car, and we're going to have to wrap it, change the interior, change the seat. I mean, it's no easy feat. So, you know, we're definitely behind the 8 ball here. It's not a position we want to be in, and we're going to make sure that we get the backup car right and take advantage of the precious minutes that we have in tomorrow's race practices.
Well, he'll start at the back, but that certainly hasn't been a terrible thing for Jimmie Johnson in the past. 3 times he's gone to victory lane, 3 of his 80 career wins. Mike?
Thanks, Matt. Hi, everybody. With Darrell Waltrip and Jeff Gordon, I'm Mike Joy. This is, however, a very new wrinkle for a driver to just voluntarily say, well, all right, we're not going to qualify. We'll go concentrate on the race.
But he's Superman. He's capable of doing anything. He was Superman. Yeah. I mean, this is certainly unique, and I think being out here on the West Coast, it's not as readily available to have a backup car, although they could go to one of their teammates, as Jimmy said. Yeah, it's interesting. And the new tire rule has changed things slightly as well, where you have to start the race on the tires you qualify. So I think they're looking at, okay, we could get this car ready, go out there, make a qualifying run. It's probably not going to be a great one. We're going to have laps on our tires, and we're going to be starting in the back. Let's just go get ready for the race.
But the big question today, Darrell, are we going to see a new track record?
Well, Jeff and I were talking about that, and this track has a history of slowing down when you qualify.
Right.
A lot of times, and of course, if we could run what we practiced, if Larson could run what he practiced, he could break the record. But it's really hard to do here. The track gets hotter, it gets rubber on it, and it does slow down a little bit. So we're on the edge of our seat. I can't wait to find out.
Hey, one of my heroes just walked in the booth, Bob Stenner, who produced the NFL on Fox and the Daytona 500 on CBS for many years. Glad to have him here as cars roll through inspection and out to the line. Harvick climbs aboard. Apparently long line for inspection. 18 cars still not out on the line, still going through inspection.
Mike, you know when a sense of urgency picks up? When you hear motors running.
Well, this round is 20 minutes. The round 1 were the fastest 24 advance. So these cars still have plenty of time to come out and post a qualifying lap. And then from round 2, the fastest dozen advance to run for the pole. Let's go to the long wait line and Jamie Little.
Same thing, different week, Mike. We're back here. There's 4 different stations that teams have to go through to pass inspection. I was told that this morning when they went through the first time, only 4 cars passed initially. These are all cars that are going through for a second time. Now, to my right, Brad Keselowski, they have been cleared through the LIS now. He's in the car. They're pushing him out from here. Same thing for Erik Jones. Last-minute changes and air pressure adjustments. Eric's getting buckled in. Same with Martin Truex Jr. They're all coming out of LIS. It's a rush to get out onto pit road, but there's still a lot of cars back here. A lot of crew chiefs shaking their heads, wondering if they're even going to get a chance to qualify, Mike.
Wow. Kurt Busch is going to be the first on the clock today in his Haas Automation Ford.
And I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but Jimmie Johnson's not going to qualify. Wonder why. So maybe we shouldn't push so hard to get out there and qualify.
Well, what I'm thinking about, DW, is we had a similar situation to this in Atlanta where there weren't 24 cars out there when we first started qualifying, and some cars like Dale Earnhardt Jr. went ahead and went out early and had to go out a second time because they finally cars got out on pit road and they started knocking cars out. And now we see Kurt Busch and a few cars out there early here. I'm just wondering, is the track going to improve as this session goes on or round goes on?
Yeah, Matt Kenseth 38.64, Busch with an 87, and Jamie McMurray
I think McMurray's going to be the guy to watch, and he's not as fast as Kenseth. He's in second at a 38.81. So obviously things have slowed down a lot. Track temp's up about 30 degrees.
Chase Elliott a 92, fourth of 4 right now.
Yeah, well, I guess McMurray, though, I mean, you know, he was only 26 quick in practice.
Okay.
So that's about what he ran. He ran a 60 in practice.
But now the idea of not going out to qualify, you have to start the race on the tires on which you qualify. So if you don't qualify, you have sticker tires. If you are one of the first 12 cars on the grid, then you have at least 3 laps on your tires. Is 3 laps versus no tires that big a difference at the start of the race?
I don't think that's a huge difference at the start of the race. I thought it was going to be a bigger difference in Atlanta, a track that has an abrasive surface like this, as we watched Dale Earnhardt Jr. through 1 and 2. I love seeing these cars up almost in that top lane, in that sort of second lane. This is what's so cool about this racetrack. But we didn't see it being a big deal at Atlanta, so I doubt whether it'll be a huge difference here. Although, if you take a car that has 3 or 4 laps on tires and put somebody with stickers right next to them, you will see a difference in the race.
I liked it when the car, you drive it up there. I don't like it when it slides up there.
Yeah,
we see a lot of these cars doing a lot of sliding.
And Dale Jr. in practice on his last practice lap, he said, I'm really loose off turn 4, and he was again, but he is 3rd quickest.
One of the trickiest things about these types of conditions changing so much from practice as we watch Dale Jr. go over those seams. Each one of those lanes, there's a seam in between. And so if you're a little bit loose off the corner like he was in practice, when you hit that seam, you're going to have your hands full. It's going to slide out from underneath you. You catch it, go over to the next seam, catch it again. But, you know, I just think right now it's about commitment. How much of a commitment can you make? Because wow, look at the wheel movement here for Aric Almirola. Here you got to push so hard to get a good lap. It's a big, fast racetrack. But boy, when you commit to it and it doesn't stick, you're going to lose a lot of time.
That corner was so bad for Aric Almirola, he has aborted his run.
Coming in, yeah.
And that's the thing. As the track temp goes up 30 degrees, you don't really know if the car's going to stick well like it did in practice or not. You hope that it does, but if it doesn't, you can make enough of a mistake or the car can just lose so much grip. Wow, yeah, and he was up high trying to get a big run, and he's gonna abort right there. He realized how much time he was losing.
Yeah, he hit that bump going into 3. It loosened the car up, and he said, man, this is no good.
And I think in a way that was really smart to abort that quick, because now he can get in, cool the car and the tires and everything down, knows what he has to do, as well as make an adjustment, go back out and put a lap up there, moving around too.
These things are moving all over the place, so you're just a passenger in some of these cars. It's going where it wants to.
New colors for the Subway Camry with Daniel Suarez, and there is point standing leader Kyle Larson.
Well, this is a benchmark. This was the fastest guy in practice. See what he can do here.
I loved how that car followed that seam through 1 and 2, was yawed out and carrying a lot of speed. Now look at, he's going to use the apron down here in 1 and 2. This is a great lap. This is definitely what everybody's going to be shooting for right here. Lost a little bit of time coming off of 4.
Top of the board, 38.55. That's still about 3.5 tenths off the track record, but he is fastest. Let's go back to the inspection line. Jamie.
Ryan Blaney, one of the drivers eagerly waiting for their car to be cleared. You guys have one more station, the LIS. What is it like for a driver to be standing back here ready to go, watching the monitor, knowing qualifying is happening?
It's not ideal by any means, but you know, it's just part of the process. All the teams try to get as much as they can, and sometimes just things don't work out and you have to go back and adjust. And when a lot of teams try to push the issue, you're just waiting in line. So we're kind of at other people's mercy, but hopefully we'll be able to get through. I think we just pushed to the LIS, and hopefully we can get out there and get some laps done. I thought our car was pretty good in practice. I thought we had some good speed in our Motorcraft Quick Lane Ford Fusion, so I know we made a lot of changes to it. So hopefully those changes, we can run them and see if they'd applied well or not. So hopefully we get out there.
A lot of people checking their watches right now, Mike.
Yes, I can imagine so. Casey Kane on the clock. Stenhouse out there. Kane is 3rd fastest. And we saw Michael McDowell, and if his car looked like your mom's station wagon, well, it's imaged as a Surf Woody this weekend as a tribute to Southern California. Levine Family Racing. Here is Denny Hamlin.
Tell you what, that 5 car, he was all over the place. Put a decent lap, but man, had his hands full of that thing.
Stenhouse ninth.
Such a thing as a smooth.
Boy, I haven't seen one yet.
Track.
And it looks like we're, that 55 by Larson, he ran an 08 this morning, earlier today, so we're way off of what the record is.
Really interesting line here for Hamlin. Instead of choosing to go to the bottom, like we've seen some run the top at 1 and 2, then the bottom in 3 and 4, he chooses the top lane at both ends.
On your right, Kyle Busch. Hamlin is second, 38.55.
Now that also might save those tires a little bit for round 2 and possibly round 3. Kyle Busch goes to the top.
38.48.
And here's Martin Truex, who came out of the inspection line and went straight out onto the racetrack. Did not go to his assigned park space. And Truex is 5th. 4 Toyotas in the Fast 5 with 12 minutes to go in round 1. Kevin Harvick's Busch Ford's given them something to shoot out. That's only 5/100ths of a second slower than the track record.
I was all warmed up. I thought we were going to get to do it.
Well, we might.
Here's Clint Boyer.
Not done yet.
And Paul Menard finishing up his run. Well, Menard is 18th. Eric Jones 17th.
Keselowski was flirting with it as he went through 1 and 2. Had a good lap. See if he can't make up a little bit of time down here in 3 and 4.
Boyer 10th. And there's Ty Dillon on the right.
Yeah. Oh, Keselowski got through the center and off the corner pretty good. Made a few gains, but not quite enough.
Keselowski second, 38.45.
That's a heck of a lap that Harvick put up here, guys. 38.24. Wow. A couple of tenths quicker than the Keselowski right now.
Eric Almirola is going to roll back out after aborting his first run. We've had 23 drivers take time so far.
Boy, just
really violent there.
So much jumping. And
we've talked about how severe those bumps are down the back straightaway, but usually these cars ride over it pretty well. But in qualifying, I think sometimes you'll have a harsher ride. As you talked about, DW, shocks time the car down, as well as the air pressures of the tires inflated higher. His head was bouncing back and forth on those headrests.
How about your vision?
Ty and Austin Dillon within 2 1,000ths of a second of each other. That's brothers right there.
It is.
And Almirola went back out again, said nope.
Man.
Not going to risk it.
He's talking about Ty Dillon. I mean, our Austin Dillon. Last year, he was our pole setter here, so they got a little work to do. 17th quick.
I do like what I'm seeing here as far as line choice. I think this is not only going to make qualifying interesting, what they do second time out or round 2, round 3, but I think it's going to make this race very, very interesting of who can hold the bottom, who can run through the middle, who's going to run up against the wall. We're going to have a lot of different grooves when they drop the green flag for this race on Sunday.
We'll see some guys riding that rail right up next to that wall. I promise you that.
Danica Patrick 14th. That knocks Corey LaJoie out of those who will advance to round 2. Top 24 advance. Landon Castle.
Man, that's getting close.
I thought Rusty Wallace told a great story about Richard Petty last night at the Peterson Museum event that we went to, where he always saw Richard Petty running right up against the wall everywhere they went. And he said, I just don't know how he's doing it. Why is he doing that? And he went and talked to Richard and he said, boy, I've hit a lot of these walls, and I can tell you, it hurts a lot less if you're a foot away from it than it does if you're about 50 feet away from it down the bottom.
I know Richard always told me that, and I said, but don't you hit it more often?
No.
You just ricochet off of it.
Scrape it every now and then.
Landon Castle 23rd. That knocks out Reed Sorensen. Timmy Hill on the clock. Jamie?
It is the race that's going on behind the racetrack as these cars are now firing up from back here in the garage and going out. Ryan Blaney, they're putting his window net up, trying to adjust his air pressures. Looks like they have those in check. He'll make it through. Last week's winner, Ryan Newman, just rolled out, and there's 2 cars remaining to go through LIS. The 22 of Joey Logano, they just ran him in there, and the 6 of Trevor Baynes still waiting patiently. I see him pacing by his cars. So these 2 guys trying to get back out there with 6 minutes remaining.
Thanks, Jamie. 6 minutes to go. The Bubba Burgers car for Timmy Hill completing his run. Last week's winner, Ryan Newman. And let's listen in. Here's Kevin Harvick after making his qualifying run that is fastest so far.
I don't really even know what I just did, so I have no idea why I wound up there. Felt like the right thing to do.
That's funny right there. I don't know what I did, but it was really good, whatever it was.
Ryan Newman, 7th.
It was a good roll of the dice.
It was. Wow.
Timmy Hill, 28th. Landon Castle on the hot seat. David Reagan on the clock.
I know it didn't seem like a big deal, but when the car's not on the line and you don't have time to get in the car and get buckled up and get ready to go, and you just got to jump in the car and go out, it always kind of discombobulated me. It was just like I got to go out and run this lap, and I don't even have a chance to think about it.
I think the mental focus to go make a qualifying lap, you really have to get yourself ready for it, because there's a lot, like I said, commitment to where you're going to run, how you're going to do it, where you're going to lift, where you're going to turn, what's the car going to do. And so, yeah, when they're telling you, get in, go, we got to rush, we got to make this lap, it throws your whole game off.
Now, guys, we're under 5 minutes. In fact, 4 minutes, 45 seconds. I've been watching when drivers have been leaving pit road. You're going to have to leave the end of pit road somewhere between 40 to 45 seconds to go in the round to be able to start a lap.
That's a really good point, Larry, because there's going to be several teams that are going to be flirting with that, whether it's their second time out or just making it up for the very first time after they get through inspection.
Just look at all the cars that are back here that haven't even, I mean, they're not going to make it.
So Landon Castle's teammate David Reagan did not knock him out of the top 24. Here is Ryan Blaney for the Wood Brothers.
This car's been fast every week. See what he can put down here.
Today in 1930, the King of Cool was born, Steve McQueen. And the movie Bullitt, can you believe, will be 50 years old this summer. Hard to believe.
Yes, it is. Amazing classic.
This summer, next summer. I know they got a big 50th planned for Bullitt. I believe it's next summer. They just found one of those Mustangs in a junkyard in Mexico. This is no junkyard dog. This is Ryan Blaney trying to work his way into the top 24. And he does, but not by much. 21st.
I'm pretty sure that's not at all the lap that Ryan Blaney expected to have.
All right, hopefully the third time is the charm for Eric Almirola.
On two aborted tips, my confidence wouldn't be all that high.
Have we seen branded steering wheels before? I think we have, but not in blue suede, have we? That's Joey Logano still in the tech line.
Just a little under 2 minutes to go here, 2:49.
Wow.
Yeah, just keep an eye on this steering wheel as Eric Almirola goes down this long front straightaway, nice and calm and smooth. Watch what happens when he gets down here into 1 and 2. There's going to be a lot of movement in the steering wheel.
Picks up a little turbulence down here. He's tentative. He's really, you can hear him playing with the throttle.
Yeah, that's very little wide open front. He's super loose. And I think that's what happened earlier when he went into this part of the track, turn 3. Big bounce over the bumps. He was really loose getting into this portion of the corner. You could tell he's just not confident in it, not carrying a ton of speed.
There's a bump going into 3 over there, and it seemed like every time he hits that bump particularly, it really loosens him.
Certainly a lot smoother, but look how far off. And I know it was his third time, but
2-minute drill, and Almirola is 30th of 31, and there stands Joey Logano minus race car.
A minute 40 to go.
Hey, here we go. Let's go surfing. Woohoo! I like what Levine Family Racing has done here. You know, Dean Torrance of Jan and Dean is still a goodwill ambassador for the city of Huntington Beach, which deservedly is Surf City, USA. And so there's your surf, Woody. It's number 95 for Michael McDowell. What did he have? We ever find out what he and A.J. Allmendinger were all stoked up
we
about
need to
last
find
week?
out about that.
Wow.
You're right.
Now this is to Paul Menard, who is on the bubble, 24th. Derek Cope also on track. Going to get a run in here. McDowell so close, 2 100ths. Less than 2 100ths. In the green, McDowell trying to make the top 24.
Trying to hug the bottom. He gets through the center.
Oh, look at
pretty good.
this.
That's gonna
hang on.
Yikes.
Oh,
that's
close.
I don't think Logano's going to make it.
You're not going to make it, buddy.
Not going to make it, buddy.
Well, remember, guys, you're going to be needing to leave pit road between 40 to 45 seconds. We're already there.
Yeah. Yeah, he's wasting his time.
So Paul Menard on the hot seat. Looks like he'll make it, but McDowell 25th, 1 spot away. Just missed it. Just missed advancing. So Menard, this likely an insurance run here. He's in the top 24. And you need to start your run in the next 5 seconds, or it will not count.
Time has expired.
Time is up.
33, signal the flag. All other cars can come back.
So Kevin Harvick wins round 1. 5 cars, including Jimmie Johnson, don't get to make a run. Harvick fastest so far. Join the conversation about NASCAR Goes West. Follow @Toyota Racing. Use the hashtag NASCAR Goes West. Round 1 is complete. Kevin Harvick is fastest. And from 25th down, Michael McDowell will start his Surf Woody in 25th spot next to Landon Castle. Castle's teammate David Reagan, Cole Witt, Reed Sorensen, Corey LaJoie. Eric Almirola is the big question. He was 14th fastest in practice, could not get a handle on that car. Jeffrey Earnhardt, Derek Cope, and Timmy Hill all took time. And from there on back, everyone starts due to car owner points. Logano, Bain, Johnson, DiBenedetto, and Gaulding. Here's Jamie.
And Joey Logano, it was a valiant effort for the 22 team. You jumped in, you got your window net up, but you ran out of time. How frustrating is it for a driver just not to have a chance at it?
It happens, you know, we're a team, right? And, you know, obviously everyone's trying to push it and try to get every ounce of speed out of our cars when we can. And I don't even know. I don't even know what we didn't make it through in time, but we did make it through. But just by the time we get through and strap in and get the car ready to go on the track, we just ran out of time. But no big deal. I felt like our Auto Club Fusion was really fast in race trim, and good thing it is because it doesn't really matter about qualifying trim at this point. So we'll work on it a little bit tomorrow, and we'll get ready to pass cars. This is a wide racetrack, so you can pass cars. We'll have our work cut out, but nothing we can't overcome.
Optimistic. Joey Logano will start 35th, I believe, Mike.
35th is correct. Here's your top 24. Here are the drivers who will move on. You know, we mentioned Jimmie Johnson will start 37th. The last time he failed to get on track for qualifying, Atlanta 2 years ago with qualifying issues, he started 37th. He won.
You know who else knows that? Jimmie Johnson.
That's right.
And the guy's looking pretty smart right now, Chad Knaus.
Yeah.
Here's Matt.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. 11th fastest in the first round. So what did you learn about your car that you told Greg Ives to try to continue to progress to that final round and get your best ever start here in Fontana?
A little tight in the center on both ends, but watching a lot of guys run that top in 3 and 4s, we're going to jump up there and see what we get. We'll get a little more speed. If we can get through there good, it'll help us down the front straightaway to the checkered. So I think we can better our car a little bit just by running a different line. So still need to roll the center a little bit better though.
All right, thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. 24 cars will advance to round 2, and that is coming right up here in Southern California on FS1. Welcome back. Here's today's Can-Am driver profile. It's the driver of the McDonald's #1, Jamie McMurray, one of 3 drivers who made the final round in every race this season, one of 3, along with Keselowski and Elliott. So round 2 begins. 24 drivers, half will advance.
Jeff and I were looking at times from last year, Mike, and it appeared that you could run the same speed in all 3 rounds. I mean, it didn't drop off very much last year. I don't know how it'll be today, but it didn't drop off much.
Certainly not for those that were fastest
guy
in each round. You're right.
Denny Hamlin set the track record last year in round 2, 38.194, 188.5 miles an hour.
I wouldn't mind seeing a track record here in round 2, would you?
I wouldn't either, man. We were really close. I mean, I was surprised that Harvick dropped it down to where he did.
One thing we're definitely going to see as we ride along here and follow Matt Kenseth, watch the mile per hour with less spoiler in the back, less drag. We see some really fast top speeds already. 185 miles per hour coming off the corner. We're going to be up there around 210 miles per hour, or possibly more. 207. There's 210.
211.
211.
To 211. Wow.
It might have gone more if we'd kept watching. It was climbing fast. Can you imagine going into that corner at 211 miles an hour, 14 degrees of banking?
Well, one of the amazing things to me as well, the slowest speed through that corner is about 172 miles per hour. So not just getting it done down the straightaway, also through the corners. About 169 here through 3 and 4.
It's a good lap.
Here comes the Peak Antifreeze Toyota. Let's see what kind of time he puts up. Chris Buescher, 39.28. Kenseth.
A lot quicker than that.
38.57.
A little bit slower. No, a little bit faster than his first round.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr. with that high line second, 39.18. Now that's 3.5 tenths slower than round 1.
Yeah, he said he was going to try something this round. I don't think that worked out too good.
Ryan Newman, 38.94. He fell off 2 tenths. And Casey Kane, the Farmers Insurance Chevy.
He's just starting his lap.
Oh.
I can't wait for Harvick to go because he said he didn't know how he ran that. I want to see if he can do it again or not.
Pretty good wiggle in the back here by the 5 car. Casey Kane not just getting in the corner, all the way through the corner.
In practice this morning, we were on the in-car with Harvick, and he came off turn 4. He was shaking his head back and forth like, no, that didn't work, and it was second fastest.
It was. You're exactly right.
The puzzlement continues.
You don't always have to like the way it's. Oh, a little bit of
yeah, you don't want to
scrub with the wall right there by the 2 of Keselowski.
Casey Kane second, 38.91. He fell off 1/10. Martin Truex on track, Keselowski on the left.
Pretty sure I saw a little bit of smoke come off the right side as Keselowski brushed the wall for 2.
Truex second, 38.81. Keselowski third, 38.84. That's a 4 tenths fall off.
Wow. These cars are really slowed down in this session so far. Yes.
Oh, he definitely got it.
Scraped it.
There's your 4 tenths.
You can see he's on that seam, and it just the back end stepped out. I think the front and the back actually, the whole car drifted.
Yeah. It wouldn't turn. He had the wheel. You can see the wheels turn left. He just kept going.
And you'll see a lot of times here at this racetrack, you can't get the right sides on that seam, especially actually in the corners. We ride along right there with Kyle Busch. You could hear him have to get out of the throttle in that same section to stay out of the wall.
His teammate Denny Hamlin, the track record holder, was set in this round last year. And Hamlin's going to be close to it.
Yeah, he really got through that 3 and 4 right time.
38.51 for Hamlin.
So I don't think we're going to see any track records, but if it's going to happen, it's probably this guy that could possibly do it.
But here's a guy that
Kyle Busch, 38.66, fourth.
Took a shot at it. We'll see what he can do now.
Now, I'm curious, is that what he did the last time?
He doesn't know.
Let's see what the watch says. Second, 38.54. He's 3 tenths slower than round 1. Daniel Suarez.
Whoa, man.
Whoa, coming up to speed.
Just so unpredictable.
And again, you're right on the edge, and he got the right side tires on that seam. And there's just a little less grip on that seam, whether you have the left sides or the right sides, but especially the right rear. When it gets on that portion of the track, you've got to be prepared. It's going to step out, and it did there for Daniel Suarez.
You got to have quick hands because that thing's coming, and it jumps out like that. And buddy, you got to be on it.
6th for Suarez, looking for his 2nd final round appearance of the season.
I think the run that Suarez had last week is really a big confidence builder for him and that team.
Eric Jones 11th. That bumps Chris Buescher. Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the bubble now. Here comes Kyle Larson.
And we saw him do this the last time with the few cars that use the apron down through 3 and 4. You'll see he'll go into the green, but he's going to lose it as he comes off of turn 4, just because you lose a little bit of momentum when you have to cut the corner off like that.
He bumps, or Suarez bumps Earnhardt. Larson 38.67. That bumps Dale Earnhardt Jr. Eric Jones to the bubble.
So the 42, it just steps out a little bit off the corner there, and it's just enough to break your momentum and hurt your speed.
I want to see if on this round 3, assuming Larson's going to transfer through, if he decides to move up top to some of the higher groups that we've seen some of the faster cars run, that won't give him an opportunity to be on the pole still.
Poor guy.
Austin Dillon 10th. That bumps Eric Jones. Ryan Newman on the hot seat.
I feel sorry for Larson. 1 week he runs high. No, that's no good. Next week he runs low. No, that's no good.
Well, and one thing's for sure, we're going to analyze both of them.
That's right.
And Danica Patrick shut it down.
I don't know. I'd keep doing whatever he's doing. Second 4 weeks in a row. That's not so bad.
AJ Allmendinger. He shut it down as well. Now here's Ty Dillon, who ran within a couple of thousandths of his brother in round 1. Ryan Newman on the hot seat.
Boy, he's just taking a beating in that car.
Is.
My goodness. He needs to tighten up those headrests a little bit.
That looks violent to
or
me.
soften up that suspension a little bit.
Do something.
Come on, Booty.
Come on, do something.
Close to that wall. And dives down for the timing stripe. Up 16th. Paul Menard got into the wall on his lap and shut it down.
I haven't seen a car that's in this session that looks like it's driving it worth a flip. They're all over the place. Got the back end. Oh,
well,
yeah,
that
he
seems
got it
to be
pretty
the
good.
trouble spot there off of turn 2.
Yep.
Just flirting with that. You get the left sides on the seam. There's something about the track right there that pulls the car out. Just the car stops turning right there.
It just kind of flattens out right. You come in a little banking, and then it just flattens out, and when it does, you lose the car.
But it's so hard because as a driver, you know you need to feed the wheel and get to full throttle. And if you do, you're going to have a good lap.
Ricky Stenhouse 14th with a 39.05. The time to beat 38.94. Ryan Newman.
Just
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
And Kurt Busch does not advance. 14th.
Yeah, just when you think you got something going, you got a pretty good lap going, the back end jumps out, or the front end takes off.
Here's Busch's teammate.
I love watching
Clint Boyer.
that left rear tire as it goes through the bumps, how the sidewall wrinkles up through the compression. Pretty cool shot.
A lot of things wrinkling up through the compression.
Boyer 16th, 39.15. How about Ryan Blaney in the Motorcraft Ford?
Trying to stay in that in that groove between the seams.
Certainly carried good speed off of turn 4. Seemed to lose a little bit getting into the corner though.
Not enough. 18th for Blaney. Chase Elliott trying to make it to the final round, something he's done every race this year.
We didn't see a great lap out of Chase Elliott that first run. I thought maybe he was saving the tires.
No, 13th by 1/100. Newman is safe for the moment. Watch the sidewalls on these tires.
Especially the left rear. A lot of movement.
Whoa.
Thing is rocking from
roller coaster
all over the place.
Oh, what a great shot. Capturing that. Tells you a lot about what that tire is going through, what the whole suspension is going through.
Tells you it doesn't have a lot of air in it, too.
Nice shot by Terry Ford.
And you ask why they don't have a lot of air pressure. The teams have found that you can really get aggressive with the left side air pressure, has good grip, helps the car turn, just kind of makes everything feel a little bit better.
We think they air up the rights real big and then leave the lefts a little lower, maybe?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Time has expired. 2 drivers did not make a qualifying run. Paul Menard and A.J. Allmendinger both went out on track but aborted their run. Danica Patrick comes across, and she is 22nd. So the track record holder Denny Hamlin leads 12 drivers into the final round. Round 2 is complete. Here are positions 13 through 24. Now, Paul Menard and A.J. Allmendinger line up in order of their first round speed since they did not make an attempt in round 2. For the first time this year, Chase Elliott's not going to be in the final round. Jamie.
Yeah, we're looking at the board right there. You're going to start 13th on Sunday. Where do you feel like you missed it a little bit?
I think 3 and 4 that round we were pretty off in the first one, and then I thought we helped our car to go faster in that second one. Still not close to the 11 or the 4, unfortunately, but feel like I got through 1 and 2 way better that second time than I did the first time, and just didn't roll the top in 3 and 4 like I needed to. So yeah, it's obviously need just a little bit to get into the top 12. Obviously not close to get further up the board, but we'll go to work tomorrow.
Thanks, Chase.
So 5 Toyotas, 2 Fords, and 5 Chevrolets will run for the Coors Light pole for Sunday's Auto Club 400. Here are the drivers that will move on, led by track record holder Denny Hamlin. No record today.
Nope. No today.
Welcome back to California, part of NASCAR Goes West, presented by Toyota. 12 drivers, each of whom have only 2 runs, 1 lap each on their tires. Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin were the fastest drivers in those 2 rounds. Now, only twice has this race been won from the front row. Jimmie Johnson did it both times, but who do you like for the pole?
Well, I like Hamlin from last year was very fast in qualifying. He's backed that up again. He was pretty good round 1, really good there in round 2. I like what I'm seeing out of his car coming off of turn 4. He seems to be carrying more speed to the finish line and completing the lap, I think, better than anybody. I think if Larson moves up, I think there's a chance he could flirt with that front row as well.
I think Harvick will do it. I think he'll pull it off. If he can remember how he did that first time out, I think he might have a shot in the 3rd round here.
I like Matt Kenseth. He's the quiet one. You never know right until the end where he's going to end up. 5 minutes for the final round. There goes Kenseth. What was he, 2? Did he flirt with 211 at the end of the front straightaway?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing speed.
And I think that the sun is starting to set, so turns 3 and 4 cooling down slightly here. We might be able to get a little bit more speed out of turns 3 and 4 to carry down that front straightaway and see if we can't flirt with 211 or maybe a little bit more even.
Yeah, that brown LA haze is moving in. We're out by San Bernardino in Fontana.
Wow.
200 at start finish. Will we see 211? Come on, come on, come on.
12.
13. 213. Here we go.
Well, we were saying we thought we'd see 215 maybe today in qualifying, so that's pretty darn close.
Whoa, so
hang on.
close to that outside wall. I was wondering if maybe that carried a little too much speed into the center of turns 1 and 2.
How much brake you reckon he used to get that thing rolled up?
All of it.
That's what I'm thinking. Well, he is drifting. That thing is just kind of sliding around the racetrack.
Well, 200 is a football field a second.
You can see on the right, Denny Hamlin, he used a little bit lower line through 1 and 2 as we saw Matt Kenseth right up next to the wall trying to get as much out of it as he possibly could.
38.70 for Kenseth. Now Hamlin tracking a little quicker.
Now, to me, this is where Kenseth Hamlin has been so good. Every other, look at that, using every inch. Boy, this is a nice lap by Denny Hamlin.
Kenny, what he's got.
Good job, bud.
Oh yeah, 38.50. That is his fastest lap of the day and the fastest lap so far.
I think that's going to be really tough to beat, though. We're going to ride along with Kevin Harvick. Very similar line as Denny Hamlin. Now remember, these guys have some video. They can go back and watch other cars and what they did and compare themselves to it. And I think that may be what Kevin Harvick did. He chose a little bit lower line right there.
Ford hasn't won a pole here since 2005.
Yeah, it sounded soft off of turn 2 over there, though, like he couldn't get back to the throttle.
Now he chooses to run a little bit lower here off of turn 3 and 4, as we saw Denny Hamlin. I do think that's going to hurt him a little bit getting to the line.
Third for Harvick.
Yeah, he just couldn't. I tell you where he struggled was off turn 2 over there. He just couldn't get back in it wide open.
Kyle Busch on the clock. Martin Truex.
Car just starts up the hill in the middle of 1 and 2, and he just runs out of room off turn 2 over there.
Yeah, that's the line I really like, is when you straddle that seam. You can. I just think that you're flirting with it a lot less. You don't have to worry about getting on top of that seam as you exit the corner near as much.
Pretty good looking turn here, 3 and 4. Not too bad.
Of the 4 drivers so far, Hamlin's the only one to run his fastest lap on his last lap.
And here Kyle Busch have to get out of the throttle a little bit off of turn 4.
Second for Truex, a 63. And 5th for Busch, an 83.
Now remember, the last time through this section of the track through 1 and 2, Keselowski got a little bit of the wall off turn 2. He'll probably have to make a little bit of an adjustment so that doesn't happen again. You see he runs a little bit lower, give himself a little bit more room there.
Just hear him play with the throttle quite a bit off that corner to keep it from getting out against that wall, but just can't nail it, can't get back in it.
Keeping it wound up high as Brad Keselowski comes off 4 and is going to dive for the stripe here.
It's a nice looking corner through 3 and 4.
Second for Keselowski, 1/10 off of Hamlin. 4th for Ryan Newman.
Good job, Newman.
38.68. And here's McMurray.
So we see Larson run a little bit higher line, just like I was waiting to see. Little wiggle there. I don't know if he's going to be able to complete it. This is going to be close.
Yes,
Bam.
Kyle Larson, 38.49.
Look at Denny.
And that is his fastest lap of the day.
You know, I just had a feeling. I saw Larson run the low line down in 3 and 4 the last 2 times. He gave up a little speed off the exit. He saved a little bit, moved up to that top lane.
All right, Daniel Suarez and last year's pole winner, Austin Dillon. Time has expired. Suarez is 10th. Dillon could be top 5 with this run.
Yeah, he looked
coming
good
down.
getting into 3 right
it's
there.
Going up.
Yeah, he's losing a little off turn 4, but he got into 3 really nice down on the bottom.
Boy, is Kyle Larson on a roll right now or what? That is. Now, he's not second today.
Dillon's 11th. Second career pole for Kyle Larson. He won the pole at Pocono. He's the 18th different driver to win a pole here. Denny Hamlin, track record holder, wins the outside pole. All right, who picked Kyle Larson?
Well, I picked both of those guys.
Oh, yeah. That would be none of the above.
I said if he goes to the top.
You did. You had a qualifier.
And he did.
You did.
Good job.
You get half a point.
Thank you. Oh, now we're keeping points.
Matt?
And Denny Hamlin almost scored his 4th pole here at the Auto Club Speedway. What's it going to take for you to put a check mark next to this place is having a victory?
We're going to give it our best shot. Proud of this whole Sport Clips Toyota team. This is #1 on my list of tracks that I want to win. It's been so close so many times, but love coming here. One of my very favorite racetracks. It's bitten me mentally and physically at this racetrack, so it's definitely one I want to check off.
Thanks, Danny. Mike?
So as Kyle Larson came by after that run to put him on the pole, here was Denny Hamlin's reaction. Gives a new meaning to cool down lap. Jamie.
Showered him with good feelings.
And Kyle Larson walking around giving everybody high fives. Even Chip Ganassi is down here to celebrate in the pole. You change up your line there. Is that what it took to get the pole today?
I think so. I hadn't seen a lap tracker, but I felt like I messed up there 1 and 2, and I got a little bit loose, off the wall on entry, and it got me to split the seam in 1 and 2. But I was able to get committed to wide open, pretty good off of 2, and then I hadn't ran up high in 3 and 4. at all in practice or qualifying here, so didn't really know what I would have when I got there, but ran in a good ways and it stuck. So really happy though. Our target team's been amazing to start the season, and to get a pole is great. You know, I haven't gotten a pole since my rookie season, so yeah, this is awesome. Can't say enough about everybody at Race Shop for all the hard work they've been putting in, and yeah, got a little team dinner tonight, so this will be a good way to celebrate.
California kid gets the pole, Mike.
His best finish here is, guess what? Second. Kyle Larson is on a roll at Chevy, Toyota, Ford, 1, 2, 3.